Alright, you can go ahead and turn it off now, bud. It's an interesting noise that it makes when you turn it off. Okay, what's step 1?
Verify you have all the following parts.
So we're going to install a new JLT cold air intake on the Jeep SRT. Following the instructions loosely. Okay, got to read off all them there doodads. I know what that is, so that's there. This is the filter. Coupler. Looks like it's even molded at an angle a little bit. That's our silicone barely elbow. People's Republic of California sticker. I think we need that. Intake pipe. Short. Easy enough.
That's the one push nut you need.
One each little push nut. Try not to lose it on the rug. Oh, there's the 2 clamps on the elbow. Just my own personal preference. I always leave the box in the garage until the job is done, because more than once I've had important parts get thrown away in the packing material. Some super static clingy plastic. To blow that off probably with some air. Okay. Should be the all-important filter. So strong, though. Wow, that thing's massive. It's way bigger than anything that I've put on a car before. And it looks like it's got a cone and a cone, so there's actually more filter down inside there. Okay, what's step 2?
Gather all the following tools needed for the installation. 1 10mm socket and ratchet.
Done.
Huh?
Done.
Oh.
Coincidentally, still out.
Nut driver, flat screwdriver, and needle nose pliers.
5/16 nut driver. Happens to be a wobble.
And flathead screwing driver and needle nose.
Decent sized flat-headed screwdriver and needle nose pliers. Alright, so per the instructions, this is all we need. It's pretty easy to gather. Step 3. Yeah, an electrical connector that actually comes apart. That's definitely not off of a Volkswagen. So we'll have to weasel that guy out of the tube.
We haven't gotten that far yet.
Did it say to take the whole air box out?
Yeah. And then the heat shield that's under it. Test.
Oh yeah, those are just posts.
You got the fattest flathead you possibly could.
Brute force. Posts and grommets. Oh, we got ourselves a plastic Christmas tree. So right here, there's a plastic Christmas tree. Okay. Was a stubborn Christmas tree.
Oh, wet.
Heat shield made out of plastic. Our poor lighting.
It's fine. Don't Amazon me in. Shoot.
Sensor. You can go and turn it off for a second.
What's this one here?
So the new intake tube comes with the grommet already installed. This guy's got an O-ring on him. It didn't say anything about popping that O-ring off. Okay. So no matter how hard I try, it keeps spitting the O-ring off of there. So I'm just going to take them off. Because I don't feel like trying to jam the thing down in there. This thing's pretty tight, so it's not going to come out of there. There. Okay. So obviously we can clock this guy however we need to make the connector match up, which should be right there. And we want that guy to be kind of square in the intake pipe. Okay, what is next?
Remove the push pin holding the water fluid tank to the radiator support. Just that under the towel.
Okay. So we don't need to take the hose clamp off the radiator hose. We just have to reposition the tangs so that they're facing up. That is a stubborn rivet. I don't want to break it. It's the most stuck plastic rivet. I don't want to chew that plastic up. Scratching that plastic. So usually with these rivets, you don't have to pull it. You don't have to pull the stem all the way out. But there she goes. Okay, that's a pretty heavy-duty rivet.
Big windshield wiper tank. That thing's giant, actually.
I'm not quite sure why it wants us to move that. But we'll figure that out later. This clamp has taken a set on the hose already, so it doesn't want to move.
Tight.
Okay. Hose clamp moved.
There it is. Nothing leak?
I thought I smelled, yeah, it splashed a little bit out of there, but
No big deal.
it did surprise me a little bit though, because usually radiator hoses don't leak when you take those clamps off after they've taken a set. We'll rinse that out here in a minute.
Now what? Since you already removed that, do you put it back in?
So we did that. I don't know if you can see this picture, might show it a little bit better about rotating this clamp around. So normally these two tangs of the spring clamp would be over here. They kind of show that right there. Lower heat shield down between the radiator and washer tank. And down onto the stud on the apron. That little stud right there. Yeah, there's this little stud already on the fender or the shock tower that's pre-existing.
You just got to do
this right here
forcing.
goes right there.
This thing?
Yes.
Okay, so it's supposed to come this way then.
Lower the heat shield down between the radiator and washer tank. Whoops, we're almost there.
He needs to go towards the front more.
That is not possible.
Almost there. There it goes.
So that guy goes
Oh, there's a hole? Okay.
right there.
Is that what our little push washer's for?
Yep. Okay. It's all in there pretty tight. So there's the stud poking through, and this sensor, I'm not quite sure what that's for, so don't laugh at me. Not a Dodge guy.
Mopar, no car.
So now we should be kind of an overview of the heat shield put in place. So I'm still trying to see. Okay. Lower heat shield down between the radiator and washer tank down onto the stud of the apron. We did that. Secure the shield on the stud with the supplied push nut and reinstall the washer push pin. Okay, so that guy, you just smash him on there. I don't know if we're gonna have to hit him with a hammer.
Nope.
No, I think you just about had him.
Solid. Then you gotta do that, but they're not lined up though. Tell where this.
Okay, it's ready.
Okay.
Hammer, maybe.
That is the strongest plastic rivet that I have ever monkeyed with. I don't want to break you.
Should be in there.
Yeah. That's the plastic rivet from hell right there. So our heat shield's back in place. Or our heat shield is in place. That rivet's back in. before we put this filter in, I'm going to go ahead and rinse off the all the coolant that we spilled. One of the reasons I want to flush all that coolant out of the belly pan and the radiator and the frame rail and everything is just to make sure that it seals itself back up.
Clamps.
Install the elbow and clamps onto the tube and loosely connect to the throttle body. Silicone elbow. Since it is an elbow, we'll have to play with the clocking a little bit. Okay. Do this the smart way and slip our clamps in place. Alright, so we just loosely have this set in place. We're going to get this elbow clocked the way we like it. This needs to be turned down a little bit, it looks like. Looks like this needs to be rolled over some. But anyways, we'll get that sorted and then put the filter on. Make sure we're clear of this air conditioning pipe. I'm actually going to tweak that down a little bit. Let's go ahead and slip the filter on there before we tighten these clamps down. Let's turn this guy, flip him, so that the screw is up. There she goes.
It fits. That fits good. That was a little loose.
Good, right there. Okay.
Good. Sensor. Clear?
Yep.
Sensors in. Whatever you do with that.
Alright.
Is she done? Easiest install you've done in a while.
That wasn't too bad. So you can get this breather pipe on to this elbow without shortening it from its factory length. So if you ever want to put it back on, put your stock air box back on, that's not a problem. IAT's hooked back up. Filter's in place. That guy sneaks through there. Some more of that plastic. It's the silicone coupler. Fits well. Now we'll have to give her a start up and see what we think. So now what we're going to do on a quick improvisation is see if we can get a sound difference during the startup of this guy. And then we'll do it again after the other intake is put on there. say this air box is almost silent. All you hear is machine noise of the engine. Gotta let it warm up a little bit. Where at?
Just all the stuff that's burning off.
Yeah, it's right off a little bit in there. Unfortunately, we didn't get a sucky sound on the when we started it full cold with the air box still in place. Does it move at all? All right, you can go ahead and turn it off now, bud. It's an interesting noise that it makes when you turn it off.
What?
I don't know, I'm not a Dodge guy. It made an extra sucky noise after the engine was already all the way shut off.
I feel like I lost air or something.
Any of you guys that are experts on these motors, let me know what that noise is, because that's pretty funny. If you don't have very much knowledge on these and you have any questions on this installation, I'll see if I can confuse you anymore.